Good evening, everyone. Hope all of us are doing well and we had a productive weekend. So thank you very much for taking your time to be part of this session. And I believe we're going to learn more. So without wasting time, I'm going to kickstart the session. And I'm looking forward to see you engaging and also making sure that the session become more productive. So tonight I want us to spread our wings and learn about alternatives that we can use. Number one, to help our kids to develop a capacity of earning than to have the mentality of entitlement. But at the other hand, you don't need to have a child to understand the things which I'm going to teach today. You can also practically take these things and initiate them in your life as the means to spread forth your wings to have other streams of income. And what I've noticed about many people when you speak about starting a business, they likely to think about those big scaling business, which is it's more of a struggle if you have never been exposed to business when you wanna start with those big scaling businesses. I'm talking from experience. This is my day-to-day life. That a person who's not yet equipped in running big cash flows and also running big businesses, um you cannot trust such people with big businesses. So it's good to start with something that is at a lower level so that you will make your mistakes there and you learn from those mistakes at a lower level. And at the other hand, when you speak about a scalable risk is all about taking one step at a time. It's not about putting millions and then you take risk with millions. It's all about taking one step at a time. So what I've done for this session, I've looked for alternatives that we can use to bridge a gap of building extra streams of income without utilizing a big capital. I understand that all of us wanna push to those higher levels, but these are the means that we can also use to build other streams of income. And for those of you who have a bit of exposure in business, you can learn from this stuff that I'm teaching to work around what do you call the yeah, and I'm not so called. I'm looking for this word. The whole overall cycle of business, because what makes more a business to be okay. I see someone raising a hand, SN Schumann. I don't know what's the query.
Uh, okay, good evening. Sorry, Trevor, to interrupt the class. I just wanted to find out, will it be okay if I share the link with my kids? I thought I was going to be with them. They're not here with me currently.
No, it's fine. Not a problem. You can share the link.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot. So yeah, as I was saying, when it comes to business, it's all about studying the value chain, because all of these businesses that we're running, they revolve around certain value chains. So even with this lesson that I'm going to give today, if you know how to study a value chain, then you can maximize your earnings through like working out your way in the value chain. A person who's selling chips can go down and start to focus on farming instead of selling the end product, and start to be the first person in the system of the value chain. So even here you can look at those loopholes. Where can I fit in the lowest of the value chain so that I can be the master of the value chain? But above all, it's all about maximizing our streams of income and also teaching our kids how to earn. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to have millions in your asset column and also millions in cash and then dropping it for people who have never been exposed to business. Because in business, there is what you call sustainability. So those guys, they need to sustain whatever they have built, to sustain it in terms of keeping it and also to sustain it in terms of growing it. But they start from developing the right muscle and being exposed to those stuffs. So, and this is a build up. Remember, I said during school holidays, we're going to have a sort of like online camp with the kids and learn more and more also with your parents. So this is a setup also which is going to help us to build that momentum. So when it comes to the issue of building streams of income, let me just put this as that's your salary will always keep you afloat. So your salary will help you to manage, depending also on in terms of spending habits and also your financial management. But usually a salary will always keeps you afloat, but it won't be able to break some cycles and help you to reach the financial freedom. And salary is one of the good assets when it comes to building other streams of income, because you have a salary, then your duty is now to turn what you receive as an active income and turn it to be a passive income. So other people, they see salary as an advantage to buy into a lifestyle. But as an individual, you have to understand that your salary is one of the greatest tools that you'll ever have in your hand to start to build streams of income that will enable you to have financial freedom, because financial freedom is not the result of just earning more. You can earn more, but you discover that you still squander the money. So your salary will always keep you afloat, and your investment will build long-term wealth. So in terms of investment, when you talk about investment in other spaces, or when you talk about stock market and other investments, it's all about long-term investment. It's all about what you want to reap in the future. It's all about what you want to pass down in the generation. But above all things, the thing that becomes a game changer is a side stream of income. When I speak of a side stream of income, I've never, like I didn't even mention like how much you need to have in your side stream of income or in a side asset. Even if it can be a small like hustle, maybe that hustle brings around 500, that brings around 700, that brings around 800, as long as there is something extra that is coming in, that small amount, it plays a major role. Because one of the things that you have to understand, if now I have one stream of income, and then I take it as like the main thing that focus like take like is taking care of everything, it becomes a struggle for me to have that kind of speed that I want in my life. But if I have other streams of income, maybe I have one stream of income that brings a bit of 700 in my pocket, then it can also help me to speed up my investments, because the same 800, I can take it and now invest it maybe in the ETFs and invest it in the stock market. It brings me good advantages. So, but if I'm going to depend solely on that one stream of income, it's going to be difficult for me. But if now I have this other extra stream of income, it doesn't matter how much it brings, but as long as I have extra stream of income, it does makes a difference. And that difference, it helps me to move faster compared to when I depend on one stream of income. So that one stream of income, it's key. So most of the time you discover that you want to think of big stuffs and say, when I have now, when I start to have maybe a million, I'm going to start this business. But you can start with small stuffs and you learn from them. You develop your selling skills, you develop your marketing skills, you develop things like branding, positioning your brand, and everything. You start from them. It is and the starting point, most of the time it won't be good. The starting point, most of the time, it won't be easy, but consistent will definitely pay. And speaking of building extra stream of income, I don't know how you guys you define affordable. Like when you say you afford something, I understand we have this portion of saying when you afford something is when you are able to pay. Maybe let's say you're buying a car, then you're able to pay for that installment and you're still left with something. But for me, affordability is not like that. I always have these two principles when it comes to affordability. These two principles, they definitely work for me. So the first thing that I use to test my affordability is this. I test my affordability by my asset column. So whenever I think of adding something which is going to take like it's going to come through a debit, it means I have to measure it with my asset column. In other words, before I say I afford this because I have a bit of a cash there in my bank sitting, I have to check at my asset column which asset is going to take care of this thing. So meaning, even if I can have 3 million in my bank account and they say this thing you are qualified for it, and I look at it and say, okay, I can definitely be able to take this. If I want to take it in debt, I still have a bit of money in my bank account. That cash in the bank, for me, it does not qualify me to afford that thing. I always look at what is it that is in my asset column. So whatever it is in my asset column, as long as it has the capacity to take care of that debt, that's why I say I qualify. That's the first measure that I look at. I look at it and say, okay, if I don't have any asset that is going to take care of this, then the money which is flowing on my bank account, obviously it also have some responsibilities, and there are some things that sometimes can pop up without me thinking of it. And it's a question of, if things pop up, am I going to be able to take care of this now? And discover that if something pop up, is going to suffocate whatever it's on the bank account, meaning I won't be able to take care of that debt which I've started. So it's better for me to say, let me look at my asset column first. So what qualifies me is not what the bank is saying. What qualifies me is the asset column which I've built. So my first responsibility before I commit to a debt is to build an asset column which is going to take care of that debt. Other than that, I always say I don't qualify for this thing. So the second thing which I look at in terms of affordability, I understand that thing where the people say, okay, it's all about being able to pay for something and you're still left with something on a bank account. For me, it does not work like that. The second thing which I look at in terms of affordability, I'll come back to this thing of building different streams of income. The second thing which I look at is that if I don't have an asset currently on the floor, then definitely I can work out the asset. But in the meantime, what I need to have, if I want to buy this thing with debt, I need to make sure that I at least have 12 months installment covered for this thing. So I'm going to go there and say, if this thing, I'm going to pay 15K a month, I need to have 15K times 12. So during the times 12, I know I will be flexible enough to think of an asset which I can bring to be able to take care of that debt. So I can't go to say, just because now they'll be able to to deduct that 15K, and then I'll be left with another 15K on my bank account, or another 20K, or another 40K, then I qualify for it. No, if I don't have an asset for it, I need to make sure that I put down 12K. I put down an annual installment for that thing. So during the course of the year, I'll be flexible enough to think of alternatives which I can use to be able to build an asset, because at the end of the day, that thing, it has to be taken care of by an asset, not me, not what I'm earning there on the monthly basis. I need to have an asset which is a guarantee that whatever happens, I'm able to say I have a backup on that asset. So these are my two principles. So even if I qualify based on the criteria of a bank, I don't go for something. Even if I know that they can deduct at least maybe a quarter of what I'm earning, I'm still left with more. I still don't feel comfortable with it. So I will start with an asset column. Then if the asset column does not pass, I have to go down to the old principle to say I need to take care of this thing to have at least 12 months installment to take off it. That even if something is happening during the course of the year, I'm able to have enough capacity to think around to build alternatives that can help me to work out this thing. So that's why I say to you guys, when you think of building an extra stream of income, most of the time, don't go for numbers. Those guys that you see having big numbers, they've never started with big numbers. It's all about building the habit. It's all because if you build anything, whatever it might be, because all of us are skillful in different way, all of us are fishing in different markets. But what's critical is that you definitely need to have another extra stream of income. So that extra stream of income, even if it's look like man, this is a small amount that I'm earning, it will definitely speed up your investment, Jane, because whatever extra that you're getting, instead of taking that extra that you're getting and putting it in a certain lifestyle, you can take that extra and then put it in your investment to make sure, let's say you were contributing 2K in your investment, you're contributing 5K in investment. Now, if you have another 5K, which is extra, it's going to be 5K plus 5K is going to be 10K. So it definitely makes a bit of a sense. So maybe you are contributing even if it was 700. Now you have another extra stream of income of 1,000. Then you're going to have at least 1.7, which is going to contribute on that investment which you're working on. So don't look at the size of your hustle. You have to start, and you have to make sure that you have extra stream of income. So, and at the other hand, it also reduces your financial pressure. At the other hand, it's also create real freedom over time, not on the same point we have started, but over time it will definitely create a real freedom. So it's about working. It's not about working more, it's about building smarter. So always need to build smarter. So because I thought of this, I said we can't talk about big scaling businesses. So we have to talk about something which is more practical, something which is more applicable. So the hustles which I have went around and checked suppliers that can like it can definitely work for everyone, even a person who's at a lower level, to start some of these hustles. And then next week we're going to continue, but next week I'm going to take it to another level where I want to speak about the side of being in the supply chain. You work more like more in a space of tendering, but not those tendering that you know from the government side, but on the supply chain where you become a supplier. Maybe they say at the Department of Education they need you to supply with stationery. You go there and apply for that and supply with stationery. Maybe Sasol, because it's a supply chain, even Sasol guys, they also there. Maybe Sasol, they say they need a certain services, transportation. You can go there and supply with transport for a certain time. Maybe they said we need laptops and there's a certain company, go there to the supplier. So I'm going to share around that next week, which is going to be us seniors, no more kids. Next week's all about us seniors. So I'm going to take you through that process so that you also blow your wings also in that side, because people, when you think of tendering, most of the time you always think of those corrupt tendering of government. I'm not talking about those corrupt tendering of government. So I'm talking about something which you become a supplier in that space, and then if all things are on right on like on the right space according to what they're demanding, then you'll be able to supply those people. And I'll always advise you as status that think of something that is small. If you want to start in the space, don't go for bigger things. You want to supply bigger things, start about small things, supply stationery, supply those small things. You can also apply for cleaning tenders and those simple stuffs, and then you go for them, and then you will be able to grow a profile. The more your profile goes, is the more it will appear on the supply chain system, which will give you more advantages. So, but tonight let's take these. So these hustles which I'm going to share. Those of you who are having kids, please make sure that you. Okay, I see, and yeah, LM. Okay, LM. You can ask a question before I.
Mr. Koza, I'm sorry, my man. For a moment, your line was bad. I don't know if there's something wrong on my side or on your side, or if I'm the only one who's experiencing that.
Okay, I don't know, but I think the other guys are able to hear me. I don't know. So on my side, I don't.
You are the only one experiencing that.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, thank you.
No, thanks a lot. Okay, thanks a lot. Let me proceed. Thanks a lot. So okay, you can put your hands down, guys, because they will distract me. But thanks a lot. So okay, next week I'll as I've said, next week I'll try my best to bring the information concerning the supply chain, and also I'll try to bring other guys. Do what I know about those guys who are in that space. They are so stingy with information, but I'll try to convince one. If they agree, then I'll bring one. I have friends who have been in the supply chain. We have been doing this for a very long time. So if they agree, I'm gonna bring them on the side to share based on their own knowledge. But if they don't agree, I will take it and guide you through the process. So now, thinking of those hustles that one can start, and I want you guys to do this practically with your kids, because at the end of the day is like I want your kids to be more sharper and to be informed by the world which you are living in. So you will choose one of these stuffs which I'm going to share here and go with it. If you want to do it as an individual, it's okay. But I want you to do this with your kids. It can be something that you say, I'm doing this not for myself if you have a child, but I'm doing it for my child. So my child will have an earning capacity. But you can also do it as an individual. It's not prohibited. You can also do it if you want to do it as an individual. So there are hustles, which are simple hustles, no higher capital, just simple capital. So I'm going to start with this hustle that you can start. The hustle of cheap brand. So cheap brand is when you want to start a business where focus is on things like Lay's, those Lay's chips and stuff like Oslo and snacks. So you will pick, I will share different suppliers that you can contact to start this brand. So the first supplier that you can contact, they are called Wonder Snacks. So Wonder Snacks, they specializes with private label, and they focus more on popcorn and maize snacks and they are supplying retailers like ShopRite and Pick n Pay and the Checkers, and they can assist you in creating your own private label. and their website is www.wondersnacks.co.za. So these guys, it's a family business. It's in Cape Town. It's a family business in Cape Town. So I've seen guys who doing lunch boxes at schools where you see them selling some bit of snacks and pie there. So most of them, the reason why they are able to get profits is because they buy the stuff directly from the suppliers. So it becomes easier for them, because if it was the issue of them going straight to your Pick n Pays, your Spars and Shoprite, they will not be able to afford to build their businesses. So we have Wonder Snacks. So if you wanna start also the snack business or the cheap brand, you can contact Wonder Snacks. You can go to their website, or you just pick up a phone and call them, and then they will definitely give you a code based on what you want. So what I also love about them, they also allow you to create your own brand. Let's say you wanna name these popcorns or whatever you wanna buy from them. You wanna name it under your name. They will definitely arrange it for you. So and then if they arrange it for you, then you send them your logo and everything. Then they put your logo, and then when these stuffs come out, they come out under your name. So that's why you discover that they are most like, okay, I can say I don't know any of those guys that you see on TV, those celebrities that some of them they sell alcohol brands. Most of them, their own alcohol brands. I don't know any of them who definitely own those stuffs. Most of those guys are just, it's just their names. They just say, okay, I'm going to go for this alcohol, and then blah blah, and they go around those stuffs, and then they put their names there. But when they appeal in the media, they appeal as if they are in the whole process of the value chain. But the whole process of the value chain is not owned by them, it's owned by other people. So, but with these guys, it's also simple with if you wanna go for that, guys. If you wanna put your name on it, or your child's name, whatever it might be, maybe you've already opened a business, and you can just put the name of your business in the brand, and then you sell it. It's up to you how you wanna go. But even if you don't wanna you wanna put your brand name there, you can still buy from them and supply. And then you have to think smart. These are some of the things which I have learned in terms of business. You have to think smart, because sometimes you don't need to sell to individuals these stuff. So you can be between the source himself, which is the Wonder Snacks. You come and then you become the supplier of maybe you have some shops closer to where you are staying, or maybe you think of, say, okay, there is a certain lodge there with these stuffs, they definitely use them. Think of something closer to you. Who can you sell this? Because the greatest thing that you have to think of when it comes to selling any product is, who are you going to sell this stuff to? Before you buy these stuffs, who are you going to sell to? So you have to think of those things. I believe most of us, we have some shops around us. We have some people that we can think of that we can sell to, or maybe schools that we can sell to. I know some lot, especially private schools. Private schools, most of them, they have shops inside them. So you can supply those private schools. You can just check on whatever they are selling, or you can check the price which they are buying the stuff from, and then quickly say, okay, this stuff they are buying, these guys are buying from Checkers, or they are buying from Pick n Pay at this price. But since I'm going to go straight to the source, then I'm going to buy from the source and supply to them. So you can definitely do this. And then if you are doing it with your child, you just need to be a coach and be the brains around everything, to say, okay, here's your business, you have managed to buy these dogs, and then these are the people that are supplying, and you work with them around the process, because at the end of the day, you want them to be money smart, and then you want them to think like entrepreneurs. So you can contact these guys. You can go to their website, and what I love, these are the simple guys to deal with. It's not like you're dealing with those big brands, but it's one of the most established brands in Cape Town. So you can definitely go to their website. It's Wonder Snacks. If you want to go to their website, it's www.wondersnacks.co.za. And these snacks, I'm sure we have seen it when we go to shops like Checkers, that then Checkers. So these stuffs are coming from Wonder Snacks. So if you wanna go for these, then you can go for these, and definitely you can turn it to be a good business. It's all about who are you aiming to supply. And then the second one, when it comes to the cheap brand, you can also check Super Snacks. So Super Snacks relies on maize chips like your knickknacks and puff corns. So if you wanna deal with stuff like knickknacks, these are the guys that you have to check. They are called Super Snacks. So also these guys, they can help you to brand. If you wanna brand the stuffs and sell them, they have the big ones and also the small ones. It's all about what is it that you wanna opt for, and if you are doing it for a kids, then what is it that and I remember we were complaining about stuff like we are buying these things from what's it called? We're buying these things from Somalians and Indians. They're not good. Our kids will stop to buy from them. Then definitely it will give you an advantage if you wanna sell this, because when I will be say you will not buying them from those guys, because now people are sensitive. Ever since that case of food poisoning, there were a lot of people who was now skeptical about allowing their kids to buy stuffs at school. Some will prefer that they carry things from home, because many people are buying from those Indians and Somalian and Ethiopian. So now you also have an advantage, because when they'll trust you, they know you, and you'll definitely tell them that you're not buying these stuffs from the local shops, but you are buying straight from the supplier, which will give you an advantage. And you can also still supply those guys as long as you know how to negotiate your way. Though those guys, they are scheme when it comes to money. They refuse with money, but it's all about how you negotiate. So if you can negotiate well, then you can definitely swim through and be able to build something out of it. So they are called Super Snacks. So you can check Super Snacks. You can go to their website, which is www.supersnacks.co.za, and then you can, it's either you email them, you call them, or you reach them via WhatsApp. It's up to you which alternative will be suitable for you. And then the last one, when it comes to cheap brand, we also have Picola Quality Foods. So with Picola Quality Foods, that's where these guys, they supply they are suppliers of packaged roasted corn, popcorn, and kettle corn and snack food. So these are more like Doritos. Yeah, these are more like Doritos. The snacks are more like Doritos. So if you wanna have something like that, they also do branding for you. So you can brand these stuff. So maybe whatever it comes in your mind, you can brand them and sell them. So I think when most of the kids that I've seen going to school, they definitely carry those small Doritos, and you can also come up with your own brand, and then even if you don't brand it, but you can come up with your own brand and then be the supplier. You can also supply those guys who are selling around your local area. You can also arrange, like, man, there are a lot of things. There is something which I've noticed about Net Florist. Those guys, they take ordinary things, guys. They take something ordinary, something is like ordinary, and then where they'll beat you, they are good in packaging. Like, their packaging makes you feel like this thing is something extraordinary, but an ordinary thing that you know is just an ordinary thing that you know. And then since they are creative in terms of packaging, and that's where we are failing. When we package our stuffs, guys, we have to be more creative. And if you're not good in packaging, it's okay, hire people who can help you in terms of packaging. And then you see these guys now, Net Florist, like, they package as an like ordinary perfume, wine. They have their own style. They have a certain taste. When they arrange their things, you can definitely feel it, like this thing will definitely make you to buy. So you can also think around packaging things, like you can package them maybe you as a present, putting different stuffs. I think women are good in the stuffs. I mean, I'm a mess. I can't do size stuffs, but I believe as women are good in this, they can also float good in this type of business. So you can think of also packaging stuffs, and you package them good, whether for birthdays or whatever, or gifts or whatever it might be. Just get one day, and you package them rightly, and then you start to sell them. If you're not supplying other people, or if you're not selling in the local shops. You can also package these stuffs and sell them. It's up to you which alternative you'll feel comfortable in using, because all of us want to kill the giant called poverty, but our mechanism in terms of dealing with this giant, we're not applying the same methodology. But at the end of the day, we are all fighting this thing called poverty. We all hate poverty. So it's up to you what will be your game plan. So if you are looking for things like Doritos, this is the company like similar to Doritos, I mean to say, then you can contact Picola Quality Foods. Though they're also dealing stuff like chicken, meat. I'm not on that. I was on their cheap brand. So you can look at them and then you see how you can work with them. And or maybe you can do quotations from the tree, and then you check your pricing at your local space and see how you can definitely work it out. So it's definitely one of the good businesses if you want to start for a kid. And you could also do it for yourself. You become the supplier, as I've said. You supply this and especially now. And we have also, I think we have also seen the issue of now people are mobilizing to say all the Indians and the Somalian shops must close. So this thing is now flooding. So whenever you are from here, you have that advantage, and then you can take that advantage and start to supply, and you say just sell for everyone who used to buy to those guys, because now they're also scared. They're also scared, and I believe in Johannesburg CDB, those guys, they are not selling at all because the chaos is big there. So we don't know how it will end, but it also gives an advantage. We're not celebrating whatever is happening, but also gives an advantage and a room to say, what is it that I can build? And if you're a person who feels like you don't want to go around and deal with people, you can buy these same stuffs and you sell them at platforms like Takealot. There are people who are selling these things at Takealot. What you can do, you can compare prices and say, I'm going to go lower than them. I'm not going to go through their own pricing. You can sell them at Takealot. You can check other platforms, which Macro, you can also check and then see how you can sell these products, because those are other platforms that you can use to sell your products. And I think there are other platforms that I'm not informed of that you can buy and sell your products there. So now, let's move on the cheap brand. Let's go to the next hustle that you can also kickstart. We also have the tissue brand. I'm sure we have also seen stuff like Royal Tissues. So we have a company called Orasoft. So Orasoft is a South African premium toilet paper manufacturer and white labels. So when they speak of white labels, these guys are able to, you see, like the Royal Tissues. The Royal Tissues, just someone came up with his own brand to say, okay, this is the price which I mean, this is the brand which I'm going to stick there. It's not like this person has been there in the production cycle. It's just sent to Orasoft, and the Orasoft, they have managed to stick this thing, and then now it was sold. I saw it in one of the retailers. I forgot which retailers. I saw Royal Tissues that were sold there. So Orasoft, these guys, they sell tissues. They sell tissue, so you can check Orasoft, and their pricing is reasonable, guys. And with this ones, you can also read them. You can also read them via WhatsApp. Their WhatsApp line is always available. I don't know, but in the evening, I doubt you'll reach them. So they deliver in the SADC region. So they are not only focusing on South Africa, but the SADC region, they also deliver in the SADC region. So I just want to read some of their prices. I don't know if they have made some changes, but previously their prices were like this. So the 2-plate tissues packet of 48 set it was running at 240, and then okay, they also have that one of 230, which is 48 inside, and also they had like they differ. This 48, they differ. You have the 48 which is 160, you have the 48 which is 190, you have the 48 which is 210. You also have the deluxe Virgin 2-ply, which is 24 set, which is 120. You have also the 300 sheets, which is 24 set, 105. Then the 250 sheets, which is 95 rand. And then the ultra soft 1-ply, you have 48 package which is 500 sheets, it was 190. 400 sheet, 48 is 170. So these are reasonable prices. So these guys, they have reasonable prices. So when you can buy from them as a supplier. But with this one, the tissues, it's one of the great businesses, because what you can do, you can buy and start to supply those lodges, you can supply those hotels, you can supply all those busy places like the malls, even the guys at the malls. So you can go there and speak with the manager that manages the mall, and then you can become the supplier if they are. But I doubt they can have a tender of such staffs, unless if those staffs they belong to the cleaning guys in terms of malls. But in terms of hotels and lodge and other spaces, you can just go there and call some. No, I know you know some of those guys who own these stuffs. Call and start to arrange with them. Then you can become their supply, because they'll definitely go to their shopping malls and buy these things. So you can become their supplier. So you can contact the Aura Soft company, which is their website is www.aurasoft.co.za. But they also have a WhatsApp line that is so simple with these guys. You can reach them via WhatsApp line, and then you can communicate with them. And then if you guys agree on pricing, then you can definitely start up there and start to sell. I know that there are people thinking of running the whole value chain where they'll buy that machine that definitely makes tissues, but you start from the small scale, and then you can go down and now start to have that manufacturing machine that you use, to manufacture these tissues. But in the meantime, you don't have that kind of 48K of that 72K to buy that machine, but you can definitely contact guys like Orasoft, and then you start to use them, and then you buy from them. And then we also have, in the tissue brand, we also have the company called the Universal Tissues and Plastics. So this one's this one is the the classy ones. This one, even if you can check the website, they're classy. So these ones, they specialize with bathroom tissues, household towels, and serviettes and napkins. So if you can check their stuffs, man, very clean, well presentable, and they have that standard. These guys. So you see, these ones, they are written Dini Mega Rolls. So just a person who's running her own company. This is your own brand. So these ones are branded. So when you just come up and say, okay, this is what I want, you can brand my stuff like this, and then it definitely goes like that. And since I'm talking about supplying lodges and supplying hotels, guys, I will request those of you who are having businesses that people can interact with. You can just type and share your business. Maybe you own a hotel, we don't know, maybe you own a lodge, so that we'll know. You can just write the name of your hotel or the kind of business that you're doing, so that you can be able to support one another. I've learned this thing from the Jewish people, guys. The Jewish people, they don't allow their money to go outside. They keep it within their own cycle. They make sure that money stays within their own cycle. So if now I have I have a problem with my car, what they'll do, they'll go to their own networks and say, I'm having a problem. Since they know each other, like those guys, all of the Jewish people who are in South Africa, they know each other. All the Jewish people who are in Namibia, they know each other. So they have their own networking cycle. And then if now I have a problem with my car, I go to the cycle and say, I have a problem with my car. Then I must find a mechanic within my cycle. So if the mechanic is somewhere in, maybe in Cape Town, and I'm here in Mpumalanga, those guys, they don't mind to pay for that guy to fly from Cape Town to come to Mpumalanga and fix the car, because they have this principle that money must rotate and stay within their cycle. They can only opt to check for someone outside their cycle if there is no one within their space that is specializing with the kind of problem that they're dealing with. And definitely they'll make sure that they work out such a skill so that they don't have a shortage of those skills. So they keep demand within their cycles. But when I look at us as Black people, we don't want, we socialize to divide, not to unite. Like we can support each other in stuff that are not meaningful. But when it comes to things which are meaningful, I'll prefer a certain guy that I don't know, then say, no, I can't buy from this one. This is a black person, and then I'll go to that person because the white person can take. I'm not against any white person. I have friends who are white people, but I think we hate ourselves as black people. We hate ourselves too much, that we don't believe in ourselves. If you can start something which is more profitable, something which is like is aligned, and you deliver the best, still we don't trust you. But if there is a certain guy who can come that we don't know, maybe it's a white person, who can definitely say, no, we're going for this. So we need to believe in ourselves, and we need to redeem ourselves from the low self-esteem which we're having. And we need to have that mentality to say, let's build our own cycle, strengthen our own value chain. And then we need to make sure that we also keep money within our own cycle. So if guys, you are having whatever business, as long as that business requires people to participate in it. Like there are some businesses that maybe you are running a rentals. Your rentals, obvious, most of the time you have your tenants, and rentals are more like people have to be in a certain location to access them. But if you have other businesses, you have your lodge, you are selling a certain product, please, you can just write it there. We'll read it, all of us, and we'll be able to see how we can allocate and buy from you. If it's say if you have a lodge or you have a hotel, then we can be able to come to your hotel one day. I know maybe you're in Gauteng, you are having a lodge or a hotel. I know that when I move from here, I have a business meeting in Gauteng. I'll make sure that I sleep in your place, even if I sleep for a day, as long as I make sure that I get there, because I want to make sure that I also put a stick on it to say we are together in this thing, and we support you in this thing. So you can share here in your message and in this message space, and I will be able to see the kind of business that are doing, then we can see how we will support you. So coming back to the tissue brand, these guys of the Universal Tissue and Plastics, they will definitely assist you if you want to brand the tissues under names. You can brand them. And then the local spas, the local spas, you can also supply them with their tissues. These are the simple guys. The local spa, I forgot what were the like where they were, what was their standard, but it's an easy one. That's why you see most of the product of local peoples are there at the local spa, because the local spa is not similar with, I don't know how they distinguish them, but you have the local spa which accept local brands most of the time, so they supply these guys. So you can also brand the tissues, and then you can even supply brands like your local spa, and then it's doable as long as you follow through whatever the standard they are requiring from you. And then we also have in the tissue brand, we also have the Nova papers. These are also classic guys. These guys are very classy. Nova papers, they specialize with toilet tissue, kitchen towels, serviettes, wipes, facial tissues, and hand towels and wipes. So these guys, you can also, all these guys that I'm sharing, they allow you to brand. So you can also go for Nova papers. So you can, with Nova papers, KFC, when you go to KFC, when you look at those services, they are branded KFC. So you can also maybe talk with one of those guys who are operating a restaurant around your place to say, okay, I can supply with serviettes. What I can do, we can just put even the kitchen towels, you can also brand them under their names. Even the hand towels, you can brand them under their names, even the wipes. So you can, as long as you have the supplier that you can supply, and it's okay. You can look at this guy, is called Nova Papers. They have great stuff, guys. They have quality. Those jobs that were buying at your Checkers, at your spas, in terms of tissues, then you can get them at Nova Papers. So you can check at Nova Papers. These guys, they're classy, they're clean, they're top, well-established company. So you can definitely reach out to them at www.nova. I'm not this one, they don't have the Dallas novapapers.co.za. So you can check novapapers.co.za. Then you can arrange with them, and then definitely you can work out something with these guys. And then the last on my list is just the last on my list. There are still a lot of people that you can reach out in terms of tissue brand. We also have what you call Wipe It. So these ones, they specialize with garage rolls, those big rolls that you find at garages. And then they also have toilet papers. They also have deca toilet rolls and serviettes. So Also, these ones are also it's one of the biggest companies in terms of the tissue industry. So you can also reach out to them. It's www.wipeit.co.za. So you can work around stuff. You'll choose which one you will feel comfortable with, and because I've given you different options, so you can definitely look which one you can work out with. So guys, this thing is doable. Don't be lazy to spend a day sitting down holding your phone. Mina, I have like my strategy is simple. I sometimes I decide that this week I'm going to spend the whole of Wednesday being on calls, just calling people, different people, and then giving them the proposal. And then definitely I can call 10 people rejecting me, but I'll get that one person who will say, no, let's look at it, and can definitely work out something and say, yes, we can work it out, and then definitely work this. So just out of your 5 days, have a day where you can sit down and think of suppliers that you can supply and start to call them. And then sometimes just do a bit of a research of these guys. How are they buying the stuffs? How much are they buying them? And then you can come between the value chain and start to supply them. So you can be one of the best suppliers, and some of you can, especially teachers is simple to sell to teachers. You just sell to this one teacher, and then the rest will go, because all of them just start to buy from you. You can even sell to your colleagues. Guys, you have your own market. You will have to think around to how you break around the market, but it's simple. As far as I was talking about the small scaling businesses here. So you can sell to your church. If you are going to church, you can sell to some of the members, whatever organization that you belong to, you can sell to those guys and start to build a brand. And then that's how we roll. So okay, now we are done with the tissue brand, and then let's go to the juice. And then okay, we have a company called Zig Trading. So these guys, they specialize with juice and frozen fruit and water. Water is fine. You can buy that purification system and then do it in your own home. But in terms of juice, these are the juices that sometimes you buy them at your shop price, and you buy them at those big retailers at higher prices. You get these things, they are very cheap when you buy from them. So you can buy stuffs like a juice. If you want to brand it, you can brand it and start to sell it around your own market. So it's up to you which market you want to focus on. So you can buy this and be the supplier. And one of the things that we need to teach our kids is that selling is not for poor people, because we have this mentality that selling is for poor people. Selling is not for poor people. Selling is for wealthy people, because you can't be wealthy without selling something. So sell something. Get something you're going to sell. Don't just be a buyer every time. Find something which you're going to sell, whatever it might be. Sell something. I was looking at it's so crazy. ShopRite, they are selling those whiteboard markers. Those whiteboard markers that they're using when they write in the whiteboard. So they are selling the whiteboard markers. I think one board marker is around, I think it's 25 rand to 30 rand, if I'm not mistaken. There's 25 rand to 30 rand. You know, those guys, those things, guys, one whiteboard marker, if you buy it, not even from the supplier, if you buy it from the second person, the whiteboard marker, and those ones which are selling there, they are very small. The whiteboard marker, if you buy it from the second person, you'll buy the whiteboard marker around 10 rand. But you go to ShopRite, you'll buy that thing at 30 rand. So those guys, they're not making 100% of the profit, they're making 200% of the profit. So you think of it, and then now let's say you wanna buy this thing, you don't want to buy from the second supplier, which is the second supplier. Most of the time you get the second suppliers from Takealot. Those guys will be selling a pack of those whiteboard markers at 100 rand. You discover that inside there are 10, and or maybe 97 rand inside there are 10. They are second suppliers. So now if I don't want to buy from those guys, I wanna buy direct from the supplier, I have to register with Penflix. So when I register with Penflix, I know things like your pens, things like your whiteboard markers, things like your things like around stationery. I know Penflex, they have most of those things. So what they need, I spoke with the manager, I think it's last year. That's if I'm saying, I spoke with the manager of Penflex. They need the simple things, guys. They need the registered company, what else? And a tax clearance, they need that. And then you submit to them and they approve you as a supplier. Now, when you become a supplier, you'll start to buy those things in higher quantity from Penflex. Then when you buy from Penflex, then you can now supply schools. So if schools are buying from ShopRite, they're buying from your Pick and Pays, these things that they're buying around 25 rand each, then you can go to schools and say, I can supply you these things. And whatever that has to do stationary, then you can supply different private schools. I'm not talking public schools, you cannot supply them because those guys, their budget has to be drawn by the government and submitted to the circuit, and then everything goes like that. But unless you get a tender to do that. But I'm talking about most of the private schools, you can supply them because you can buy direct from Penflex and start to supply them. As long as you are registered with Penflex, and then it's easy to go. You'll become one of their suppliers because you're buying direct from those guys. So these are the things that you can think of. You can be the supplier in different platforms. So if you wanna think of supplying stuffs that I've shared there, just reach out to the people which have shared on the platform and start to supply them. So there is this one. This one is very big. I can't I will not write notes about it. It's called and okay, let me look at it. It's called SupplyWise. So let me flip the screen. Oh yeah, I just want to show you SupplyWise and okay, SupplyWise. It's one of the big. You have to go and check SupplyWise, guys. Even the other companies, but SupplyWise, they have a lot of things, and you need to familiarize yourself with companies like SupplyWise, especially if you are also going to be in the supply chain. So you need to familiarize yourself with guys like SupplyWise. So let me just put it on the screen. So I'm sure now we're able to see some buckets there. Yeah. And this is SupplyWise site. Okay. So you see this thing, this plastic water a canister. This one is 10 liter. So usually when you go to shops and buy this canister, it's around 250 each. So you see here, a pack of 4, it's around 458.85 cents, which is okay, let's say it's 500. So you go to a shop, you'll buy it around 250 to 300, this thing. So here you buy 4 of 10 liters. You buy 4 of 10 liters at 58.85. So if you are of catering, things of this one is very big, guys. I can't specifically say they are supplying with this. So you can see here, if you are looking for okay, bar stools, bench seating, retail seating, curtain tables, folding tables, plastic tableware, disposal tableware, catering hallway, table service, consumables, food measuring, food preparation, consumable, butchery pack. There are a lot of things, guys. Here, stoves. Okay, these ones, I think 2-plate stove, and the pack of 3 is 1,840. I don't know how much. So these plastic cups that usually buy them at 2 rand, at 2 rand, I think 2 rand or 1 rand. Sometimes others will say 2 rand. These ones, you buy a pack of 500, you'll get it at 426. So with those 2 rands which are saying, with those 2 rands or 3 rands which are selling these cups, they make their 100% profit here because these stuffs are cheap. So a lot of things of plastics are cheap. You see, this now you remember this one, it was 10 liter, this one, the plastic container. We also have the big one of a 20 liter. The 20 liter, a pack of 4 is 562. So now if these guys, they are selling this one at 250, it means they are going to sell this one around 300 and something here. So now if you have this 20 liter of plastics now, a pack of 4, at a price of 526, it's very cheap, it's very reasonable. So a lot of things, people love alcohol, cooler boxes. You can also get cooler box, a phone pack, there's 614 tens. Guys, a lot of things. I can't break down most of this, I mean all of them. A lot of things that you can buy from this company called SupplyWise. So this is a big factory dealing with a lot of things. So you can also pick based on categories. You can come to food and service, retail seating, can come to the dining tables, table service, which will take off plastic tableware, disposal, all these things. Food preparation, you can come to butchery, you can come to cooking, beverage equipment, catering, refrigerator, food storage, food, even PPEs. If you want to supply PPEs, this is the manufacturer that can assist you. So anything of plastic, guys, you'll definitely get it here on Supply Wise. So it's up to you. Can come here. What you can do, you can buy these things, because I saw some of these containers that they are buying here. They buy them here and then they put a Takealot, and Takealot discover that I saw one, it was 150 here. Takealot, they are selling it at I think it's 350 or 250 there. And then because we are lazy to go around, you can just say, let me buy this thing at Takealot while they are buying it here. So it's easier, guys. You just come here. Construction, buildings, all these stuffs, they have them here on Supply Wise. So it's up to you. What is it that you can check at Supply Wise, and it's either you become a supplier or you just sell to individuals. So it's up to you which option you will definitely go for. But most of the things that we see and buy in those retailers, they are here and their prices are reasonable at Supply Wise. So you can definitely go to their site, which is www.supplywise.co.za, or you can just type Supply Wise on your on your search drive, and then you'll definitely get Supply Wise. So you'll choose which ones you wanna go for, and then you start to hit the road. You are doing it for yourself, it's up to you. You are doing it for a child, it's up to you. So you here now, okay, I was flipping here. Safety and security, you come here. PPE workwear, you come here. Waste management, you come. All this stuff, storages, material handlings, tools, access, all these things you will get here. You'll get them here at Supply Wise website. So you can come to the Supply Wise website and then you check which ones can you buy if you want to supply, or which ones can you buy if you want to sell to individuals. So it's up to you which one you can feel comfortable with. But you have a lot of options. What I'm trying to demonstrate is that you have a lot of options that you can look at when it comes to Supply Wise. And so not just put it on my notes to say, okay, this is what you can buy, because there are a lot of things which these guys are supplying with. So even if maybe you get a tender and they say you will be their supplier, you just have to come in website like the Supply Wise and check things that you can buy and start to supply them. So these are the sites, guys, that we can start our hustles with, and I'll be happy to see your kids pushing these hustles, and I'll also be happy seeing you guys pushing these hustles. And yeah, it's not about how much you're going to make this. It's all about starting and make sure that that one bit of rent, that one bit of stream of income which I've added, it will definitely make a difference in your streams of income. So you have to push it, you have to start, and you have to make sure that you don't just sit around hoping that one day you'll definitely get $1 million. You'll wait for the president or someone from the office of the NYDA or whatever it might be to give you funding. You might wait for the rest of your life. But if you can, because these are most of these things are the things which are buying them from these shops. It's not like they have a special heaven where they are getting them. They just go to suppliers and buy them, and then they sell them to us. So you can also become that kind of a person, become the middleman, and then buy it from the suppliers and start to sell. So you have a lot of options. I mean to say, it's up to you which option can you opt for. So next week we're going to look at the supply chain, where you become more like a tendering person. You apply for these tenders and then you become a supplier. So yeah, it will be an issue of next week. For today, I have to pause here. I don't know if there is anyone with a question. Then you can ask a question and I can answer you, and then take it from there. Anyone with a question, you can feel free to open your mic. And then I will. Okay, Ipeling, I see you raising a hand. You can open your mic.
Greetings, Treasure. Thank you so much for this presentation. I'm just requesting that you share it with us also on the YouTube like you did with the other ones, just so that we can have time to go through properly. Thanks, if possible.
Okay, it's fine. I will add it. I think tomorrow I'll add it on, then I'll send the link.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Anyone with a question? And also, those of you guys who are playing the stock file things, you must stop to buy from those. I'm not against the Indians and the Somalians, but you can save a lot if you go straight to the supplier. Because I know there are people who are playing stock files and then they buy different stuffs. Just go straight to the supplier and buy, because if you buy in bulk, it gives you advantage to get these stuffs in a lesser price. So make sure you just go there, to go to those guys, and they say, we're discounting with R5 while you can buy more in guys like Supply Wise. So just be wise enough. So I think all of us we are covered. So I'm going to upload the recording I think tomorrow, and then share it in the groups so that you'll be able to revisit it and to check some other information. So if you struggle with some suppliers, you can also hit me up, then I can help you to reach out those suppliers. So I believe most of us tomorrow will be reaching out these suppliers and see which direction we're going to take. So other than that, let's have a fruitful evening, and then we're going to meet again and then talk about now the supply chain, especially for those ones who are now do the tenders for your Sasol and other big entities and even small entities. We're going to meet, and then I'll be sharing which platforms now you can use without going to the dirty side where you have to do some dirty stuff to get those tenders. Thank you very much. Have a blessed week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Treasure, thank you very much. Good night.
Appreciate. Good night.
Bye.